We'll be continuing our capitalism and society reading on the next video. Just wanted to take a quick one to just seeing a bunch of these reviews online. This is the Wikipedia for Landmark Worldwide, and it's called a LGAT, Large Group Awareness Training. Um, it's kind of like calling a church large group awareness training, or a political rally large group awareness training, or a grocery store large group awareness training. Uh, if you've already done the forum in the advanced course, you see that there's levels of realities where a bunch of people agree on the same thing, therefore it's real to them, when it's really not real. It's really a construct of a bunch of people agreeing on the exact same thing, so therefore it's real to them, and they, aren't open to, that they're in this set of one possibility with many options. Um, so in any event, is it large group awareness training to tell people to drink water? The news is large group awareness training. It's all nonsense. I wouldn't compare the forum to anything else you've ever seen before. It is unlike anything else. Um, yeah, there's, 300 people on a Zoom call. Um, I don't know. I can't think of any, like, people are like, oh, is it a, like, we'll go on to this next one. Like, is it a cult? Like, this is, first of all, this is a clickbait title. Meanwhile, the guy just goes on to like only give good positive stuff about it. So this title here is for sure, be as skeptical as you'd like. But the forum and Landmark in general is not a cult in any one way or another. If you look up the definition of cult, you'll find that it's completely unlike a cult. All right, so this is the Reddit on MLM, which stands for multi-level marketing. Landmark is not multi-level marketing. I participated. I invited my best friend to participate. I did not make any money off of my friend participating. Um, Nor does the person at the top receive more money than people at the bottom. The company is owned by its employees. Um, so yeah, it's, you might see a long post about how somebody feels about something. Look, even this locked post, no new comments can be posted. I mean, talk about freedom of speech, right? Like they're like, nope, 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 we are right and you are wrong. Like, do I have to make my own Reddit that's anti-MLM to write that this is not what it is? It's like, okay, let's see. And this is our Quora. Um, I've heard it's everything from a cult to the most transformative experience. Anyone writing that it's a cult, it's like, oh, did you actually do like the full 5 days? And they're like, oh no, I left on Sunday morning. It's like, like, 5 days of your life. Like this is not a cult is something that you go back to. A cult is something that takes you away from your family. They recommend to be with your family. All right, let's just go over this piece here. He's going to talk about how like Eckhart Tolle and Buddhism and these writers, um, like you could get the whole forum just by reading that. And there's a reason why there's not more enlightened people on the planet, despite thousands of books that provide the tools or direction for enlightenment. Um, Buddhism's great. And if you want to go to Tibet and spend some time on a mountaintop, like the person that created all this, put this together with tons of other people, did, or Steve Jobs, right? Didn't he go? And to find out, wow, I don't need to go to Tibet to be enlightened. I can be enlightened from my house on a Zoom call with people that know, and it's not even just equivalent of enlightenments like a million times anyway.
See when
So
you
this guy's going to talk about how you could get it all out of a book, but then he says, like, because he already read all these books, but yet then he does the forum and says that he had the most two impactful epiphanies, for lack of a better word. I don't remember the word he uses, of his life after the forum. So it's like, yeah, you could have read it, but you didn't. So like, To talk negatively about something is just unbelievable. These people will talk negatively and then in the next sentence, you know, state something that they got out of it, and it's like you would have never received that had you not gone through what you went through. And you could tell me all day it was bullying or abusive or whatever. It's like I don't think 93% of the participants a year after taking it would say that it's effective and successful and worth every penny if there was people being bullied. And you ask anybody that you thought was being bullied or abused, oh, do you think that was bullying or abusing? They don't say that. They're like, no, I just had a I now I'm free. I don't have to carry around what happened 10 years ago with me for the rest of my life. It's amazing. So people seeing other people and accusing landmark of bullying and abusing is not in reality whatsoever. You think in your head that was bullying or abusing, but if you actually speak to the person, it's like, no, not at all. They were being very straight with me, and I gave them full permission to be straight with me. I raised my hand and asked to go up and deal with something that I've been dealing with for the last 40 years, whatever.
That kind of experience is not going to last. And reflecting on it,
It absolutely lasts. You don't even need to take notes, and 20 years later, you don't have to deal with things that, not to compare because they say comparing and despairing, like comparing anything to anything is setting yourself up for failure. Um, but it's like if you did compare and call those persons friends, and one person has the form or the advanced course, and the other person doesn't have either, that person that doesn't have either deals with things in their life that you don't deal with because you have this training and development. I did it 20 years ago and it still impacts my basically day-to-day life. Maybe I don't think about it every day, in any event.
the day after, I kind of feel a little bit like it's nothing that I didn't already know. I kind of feel like it's nothing that you couldn't find from doing your own research online. And a lot of the concepts of landmark, as people pointed out in the room, are quite similar to things like Eckhart Tolle with the idea of living in the
See,
present
similar.
and being.
You're comparing what you know. See, there are Buddhist monks that do this training, and they find it. I'll make up the word challenge, but they find it taking what it takes to be able to know everything that they know about Buddhism and bring beginner's mind to it, to bring a fresh, maybe there's something that someone is saying, even though it sounds similar to something I already know, maybe there's something that I don't know.
Being in the now, taking some
Best
concepts
thing I
away from.
got from my buddy who did the wisdom course. I didn't do the wisdom course, but they have a course on wisdom after people do the forum and advanced course. If you wanted to, if you don't want to, you never have to do anything ever again. But my buddy that took a wisdom course said I didn't know that. Like everything I would say, he would take the context of I didn't know that, and by taking that realm as opposed to like the realm that a lot of people took that I took when I was a child, my mom telling me what to, do, clean your room, like, do your laundry, whatever. I'd be like, I know, like get off my back, mom, and then that stops me from really like loving my mom and being with my mom and like seeing maybe there's something that she's saying that I don't know. And why would she be saying it otherwise than to like be with me?
Buddhism and the Kabbalah. And also there's elements of NLP and kind of like emotional reframing as well. But if you're somebody that's never.
That's all a description of what he thought that they were talking about. It's not emotional reframing. It's literally that emotions are real emotions, but they are not real. They're real to you. They're really, really sadness is really sad. Like maybe there's no reason for you to be sad. Maybe you're just sad. Um, but it's not in reality that other person that you're interfacing with that has no idea of the sadness that you're with at the moment. It's not real to them. Maybe they're in a happy mood. Do you know what I mean? So sadness is not it's just an emotion. It's a real feeling. It's a real thought, but it's just not real. It's thinking. You have the thoughts. It has the feelings. Or, sorry, you have the feelings. It feels. It believes and you have the beliefs. And this provides us to not be stuck with one thing or another. I can immediately erase everything I just said and restate everything the way that I mean it, if I don't mean it that way, or if I learned something new or whatever.
Taking your mind there, or you're somebody that's never researched anything like that, then possibly that's something that you will definitely get out of that. The two life experiences I've actually had and taken away from
And that's why you can read the Kabbalah or read the Eckhart Tolle and then put it down for 6 months and pick it back up again. And you could read the exact same sentence again, but you were a different person 6 months later. You've had different experiences. You were able to read that thing and then go back and reflect on that thing. And then it means something new. Every single sentence can mean multiple things. It doesn't mean like that one specific thing.
Landmark, I actually am incredibly grateful to have had, and for that reason alone, I'm happy to have paid the 590 quid that I paid.
It's $915 at the moment, and it was worth every single penny. The amount of things that I've learned for free on YouTube after doing the forum, and who's to say whether I would have learned these things or not? All I can tell you is that when I tell other people these solutions, they don't really want to hear it because they're not open to it. And even if they are open to it, they'll listen for a little bit and then go back to their conventional wisdom and, well, oh, well, this is what everybody else says, so it must be real. Um,
And it instantly, within not joking here, within 2 days, helped me patch up my relationship with my dad in a way that I'd
there you go. The book, all these books this guy read didn't patch up the relationship with his dad. And boom, 2 days later, he's
never
gone.
really thought of actually doing. And that for me in itself is worth all the money in the world. And I also had some really interesting
You want
conversations
to talk
with
about
people
$500?
that I never would have probably met outside doing a course like that. And that again is worth all the money in the world because
And that's why it's long lasting, because you had the conversation with your dad, and neither you nor your dad could ever forget that conversation. Maybe you forget the specifics, but you won't forget how you felt after letting that thing off your chest. So that's why you don't have to take notes. That's why it's long lasting. It doesn't fade after a day. You can have those, that's its thinking saying, oh, well, this didn't work, or well, this wasn't worth the money, or this wasn't worth the time. That's all just it thinking. That's not even you thinking. It's you having the thoughts. It's not you thinking.
there's been things that I've struggled with that just talking to people that have had not similar experiences, but people that have had the same goal in terms of working through their previous life experiences. We've kind of, shared insights and shared views, and they've kind of really helped me to kind of reframe my mind and kind of take it in a more positive direction. And to give the program credit, again, as I said, I don't know if this is Landmark or whether this is the people that I met. I've had counseling several times between the ages of sort of 24 to 26, 27, and then a little bit later again at kind of 29. And I've never really got that far with counseling. I've kind of unburdened a lot of things, but never
There you go.
really
All that
kind of
money you
taken
spent on
them to
counseling,
a level where I actually resolved them. They've
all
just kind
that
of
time.
heightened them in my awareness. And I think to a certain extent, that's possibly because I found that counseling kind of, at times, often, if it's done to a average standard and not a exceptional standards, often kind of allows you to process it without actually finding the solution for yourself,
There you
and you
go.
just kind of unburden. And Landmark actually helped me kind of find a solution for myself, which I have to say instantly I feel has been a massive positive step of like 10-15% already in my life. And some of the revelations that I've
I mean, do people just criticize just to not seem like they're biased? I don't know why people criticize. And then they follow it up with, well, actually, we got a lot out of it. It's like you would never even been doing this video if you hadn't if you hadn't benefited.
that probably came due to the intensity and the length of the course and the fact that there were times when
I mean, again, the length of the course, you spent 29 years doing counseling and it didn't produce the result you wanted. And then you threw 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, and you have those results you wanted. So, all in all, that doesn't seem like a long time to me. It seems actually like the shortest time available to anyone ever.
when when you're kind of forced to face up to everything and you are kind of forced to reflect. I also have
You're not forced. You chose to do the course and you chose to stay, and you can choose to ask questions or be skeptical at any moment.
to say as well that I thought that the course would be quite technique focused at times. I thought there'd be times when we do kind of group work. As I've said, I work
Not about techniques.
in HR and staff training.
Not about a solution, not about a recipe, not about a prescription, not about an answer.
So I'm fairly well
It's just questions what it is to be human. What is the being of human beings?
aware of how a structure of a training course works, but there wasn't actually so much of that. And a lot of the times it was actually at points very, very emotional. And I'm a sensitive guy in terms of my ability to empathize and relate to people, but I'm actually not a particularly sensitive guy
I'm not sponsored by Pork Bun. I did use them, but
in terms of things making me cry. But there were a couple of incidents where I found myself getting very, very emotional. And you do empathize with people on the course very quickly. You do empathize a lot with what people have been through and make your own kind of correlations and kind of similarities with it. And essentially, that is what you're meant to do. That's the power of shared and group learning. And it's really effective to do that.
yeah, going back to the large group, like if it was just 10 people, it wouldn't work. It really takes, the 75 to 250 person mark for anybody in that room to hear someone speak for one sentence and be like, that person reminds me of my mom. I need to call my mom. That person reminds me of my brother and something that I didn't say to my brother, whatever it is. It's just so, yeah, it's the human nature of things. Like that's why you can't get it out of a book. Like if I could put it in a book and give it to you, well, I do. I do. They have tons of books on it, but some people don't are still dealing with what they're dealing with.
From people that you would never actually have met before that would have had experiences that you can't actually have imagined happening to you. With that being said, there are elements of the cultish side which a lot of people do say. And in fact, on the first day when he did a kind of opening Q&A as to any questions that people had, one man did actually step up and say, "Is Landmark a cult?" So the first thing that makes it feel cultish is the fact that there is a lot of very strange and almost melodramatic language that's used.
Yeah, strange melodramatic. It's all made up. Who do you think made up language? Like we made it all up. Like this isn't a remote in Spanish. Like we made up the word remote to describe this thing that I'm holding. Um, it's just extremely powerful language, and that's different from forceful language.
For example, there's references to creating a new genesis of possibility, which kind of feels like it's almost
Yeah, if the new genesis of possibility makes you feel like I don't know where he's about to go with this, but anything at all, it's it's just because I don't know, Genesis is in the Bible. Like I don't because it doesn't make any sense. It's a Greek word, I believe, and the fact that you make Genesis mean that is just based in nothing.
take on religion. Obviously, of course, it isn't.
It's not a take on, yeah,
But
it's not theological in any realm. It's not anthropological, historical, um, psychological, philosophical. It's none of that.
that kind of language almost sounds like it's kind of landmarks kind of getting above its station, and possibly that it doesn't necessarily.
No, I had a whole lot of answers about theology answered after doing the forum. A whole new connection to religiosity and faith after the forum. So it's not stepping above anything. God and religion is a whole other conversation unrelated to this.
Really need to be quite over elaborate with it. And then the other thing is
It's not over elaborate. It is meaning what we say and saying what we mean. I don't know if I said this before. I have nothing to do with Landmark. I don't represent them. I don't work for them. I don't. There's no affiliate link down at the bottom. Like,
as well is that there is several references throughout the program to what the next program you should be doing is, and that
it's not about the next program you should be doing. It's, hey, this program exists. Here's what you would get out of it, and you're invited to do it. Like that's it.
whilst it does feel cultish because it kind of feels a little bit like once you're in, you're in.
No, it's a 5-day course, and then there's an advanced course that's a 5-day course. And then if you want to, you can do a 10-session seminar series or assist and get the courses for free. I mean, yeah, you're lining up chairs and writing but you're not even lining up chairs anymore because it's all done online. You're making sure participants are set and ready and on time, and so they don't miss anything. And in any event, it would be free to do that, so I can get the information without actually paying for it. It's like kind of a bargain.
It's also a little bit like we're going to catch these people whilst they're in the course and feeling vulnerable. And at that point, we're then
Yeah, no, it's not people feeling vulnerable. It's people being empowered for the first time in their life, and then they're invited. Um, that's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. It's the difference that someone's committed to making, and then hey, this is a way to move that project along. Um, I created a project that didn't actually like go anywhere that I thought it could go as far as like I don't know income or um effectiveness or whatever, but I got so much out of doing that project around the people in my life and around effectiveness and what works and what doesn't work and all sorts of things. So absolutely not vulnerable whatsoever. It's actually supporting people that were vulnerable around their life to be fully empowered and then make a choice.
going to try and get another sale out of them. And I
Yeah, this isn't sales. It's just talking to people.
can understand why Landmark does that in terms of the fact that they don't actually do any external advertising. So essentially, people booking.
There is a comment below about the advertising thing. It says they do advertising, and I do not see any ads from them except on search results. So like a Google or a Yahoo or a search engine, Bing or whatever like that. Um, Yeah, so where did you see the advertising? It seems the only advertising are for people that search for peace of mind, training, development, freedom from anxiety, happiness, something like that. If you search for one of those things, I don't see a banner ad or a data ad popping up as the same type of advertising that you're thinking. You're thinking of TV advertising or direct mail or telemarketing or something like that. And, other than them calling you because you showed interest, um, it's not a telemarketing thing. They don't make a commission or rip if someone signs up. It's not how it works. They're actually probably the most transparent company when it comes to their finances and expenditures. Goes into four categories: travel, real estate, um, staff, telecommunications, bundled with office supplies.
Onto the course comes directly from word of mouth. And the best way, obviously, to get people on the course via word of mouth is to get people that have done the course bringing.
Yeah, it's because part of it is asking the question, like, what do you want? Like, I can't just advertise to you saying, like, come get this because it's not about that. It's truly customized for each individual person. So anybody going in with their own, everybody's so unique. And this is customized directly for each individual person. There's 250 people listening to the exact same things. Um, Yet they all get something different out of it.
Their friends along. And on the third day, graduates from the program are invited to come along with the people that they recommended do the program. And it's kind of very much, it's a very kind of cultish feeling in terms of when you've got a room.
Yeah, again, like we leave Sunday night knowing that human beings are meaning-making machines. Like even if people are like, oh, well, the point of it is to know that life is empty and meaningless, and therefore we assign the meaning to it. No, it's like you made up that you assign the meaning to it. Like it's doesn't mean anything that it's empty and meaningless. Um, so for you to take the person that invited you alongside you on a Sunday, empowering you to talk to other people that are dealing with things in their life that they don't love about themselves, making that mean that it's a cult is just completely made up in your head because of cults around the world that do certain things is completely different.
Full of 150 to 200 people all together that have done the same course and have the same shared vision and have taken the same principles.
Yeah, we all speak English. A lot of us share different visions of different things for the world. It's like it doesn't make it a cult because we all speak English.
Back to their life. And I would appreciate that if you're an external person and you were watching that, you may think a little bit like perhaps the people in this room have been brainwashed. And that isn't the case, but it's such a kind of I'm trying to think of the way of phrasing it. It's such a kind of let's bring everybody together and get them to articulate the vision together that it does have a
I don't, there's no the vision. It's you went in wanting to get something for yourself and you got it or got closer to it. And that's it. Everybody gets what they're committed to. And it happens to be that when a lot of people get what they're committed to, happiness is an end result to that. So it's not a vision of happiness. It's what do you need to do to let go of the things that aren't making you happy and then create a life of happiness. And like that's not a shared vision. Like it's like the pursuit of happiness is shared vision. So you will never get happy. You'll never pursue happiness. Like the pursuant of happiness is the thing that'll stop it. So you will be happy, maybe, um, but you'll never get there.
cultish element
It's somewhere
to
like
it. And the other thing as well
got a
is that
cultish element.
prior to the fourth day is the shorter evening session where people that are about to finish the program can bring loved ones along to kind of watch them, not quite graduate, but watch them complete the program. You'll be encouraged to tell your loved one why they should be doing the program.
I wouldn't even say you're encouraged. I would just say that if you did, experience a level of permanent happiness for yourself, and if you invited a friend or a family member and they happen to discover something about themselves that made them, it's not even a little bit more happy because I would be comparing my happiness prior to my happiness afterwards. I don't know. I've asked a lot of people that haven't done the forum if they're happy, and they can never give me a straight answer. You ask somebody that has done the forum, they say, yeah. I haven't done the forum, they say, well, yeah, I am happy, but, or like only but this. It's like, okay. Um,
Program. And it's a little bit like a kind of cult in terms of you're bringing people from the outside in and you're welcoming to them their
Again, if I told a friend about a great movie that I saw and suggested them go see a movie, that's not cultish to go tell your friend about a movie. It's like, where are we going with this, guys?
coming into them into your world. And something that I have to
It's nothing that you join. It's nothing that you like pledge a membership to. I mean, it's like now they have a monthly option, but it's like you can leave at any time. It's no long-term contracts. Even if you do like a 1 year seminar, and this is way after the advanced course and the forum, even if you signed up for a 1 year seminar, you still signed up for a 1 year seminar. You're not committing to anything longer than what you committed to. It's like
that I actually really did dislike was on the third day when the teacher said, referencing the fourth day, when he said, tell the people that you're bringing to bring their card because they're going to want to sign up. It's a little
yeah, why would you tell someone to come to something that costs $915 and then say don't come with your card? Then they want to do it and they don't have their card on them and they have to delay it and then they get stopped by something else, some emergency happens in their life and you ever stub your toe and then something else bad happens and something else bad happens and it turns into a bad day. Like that's what that could cause. Meanwhile, the person like is like, oh yeah, I could have like totally if you had just told me like to bring my wallet, I totally could have you should have just I would have been prepared. I probably would have actually done it right then and there, but you didn't tell me to bring my wallet. So I ran out of the house without it. And now I'm gonna go another 10 years without being as happy as I want to be.
little bit like they're kind of preconceiving that this is how people are going to come, and it's a little bit like we're going to take their money, we're going to recruit them in, and then we're going to
If you think this is about the money, you are so far off base. This company doesn't even want to be in existence. They literally want to put themselves out of business. If everybody had this information, there would be no war at all. So for you to talk about how they're taking people's money is so far beyond accurate.
take their money just as we took yours, and that makes it feel a little bit of a scam.
But you just told us that it was the most transformative experience of your life. You had two epiphanies that you never had in 29 years of counseling and reading books. They didn't take your money. You chose to be there and you got extreme value and you said it was worth every penny and guaranteed you by this point, after this video was posted 5 years ago, I'm sure you made your money back times 10. Well, I'm not sure that you made your money back times 10, but I did. So It's out there. There's free ways to learn how to, I'm telling you, I learned 7 different ways to make extra money just from free videos on YouTube. But because I was open-minded to receive that information and act on the information, then ask more questions, and then like I don't know if I would have been this open-minded. Like I was always raised open-minded, but I don't know if I'd be this open-minded if I hadn't done the forum. I think I would have been stuck in I'm an unlucky person, which I was. And I had countless misfortunes happen to me because I was telling myself that I'm an unlucky person because of X, Y, and Z reasons and all the different things that made me, quote, unlucky in the past. If I was unlucky, I don't think I would have found those 7 ways to make money for free online. Um,
which it isn't. And that B makes it feel a little bit like, let's recruit new members. Let's take every.
again, you're not recruiting. You're literally like, hey, this worked for me. Will you come check it out? And if you say no to ultimately doing it, like some people online are like, oh, well, they like pressured me into doing it. It's like, okay, that's not really the form. Maybe that person was dealing with something that was trying to quote unquote pressure you. Like that was that person just being so committed to what you want in your life and just being, unstoppable that you want to be with the things in your life. So, but either way, like if someone is sharing the forum and then the other person is like a no for right now, like it's really like just being with that person, being with their no. They said no, you get it, and being with what matters to them, and maybe that's going to take a few minutes or a few decades, but I'm just going to be with those people, find out what is important to them, and maybe at some point I'll say, hey, this is really important to you. You've been working on this for X amount of years. I have a way that's virtually guaranteed to get you that or way closer to that which you want within 3 days. Can we start over and have a new conversation about it, like a brand new conversation about it? Anyway,
Everything we can from the.
I may have screwed this up last time. I talked to you 10 years ago, you were no. It's like I don't even need to bring up the 10 years ago thing, but like I may have screwed this up before, but like I really want to talk to you about this. And it's not about doing a course, it's about you and what you want. And yeah, if that happens to come from a course, it's like if you were a cancer patient and I knew the answer to heal cancer and I told you and you were a no, like I'm not trying to get you to do something that I think you should do because of any other reason besides the cancer or whatever it is that you want out of life for your work, for
New members. And for me, that kind of devalues actually the quality of the program and some of the stuff that you do come out with. So that being said,
I understand how someone could feel that it devalued the program by doing it in a way where you're inviting people and to a place. I mean, now it's not on Zoom, so I don't, it's 5 years ago, right around that time when it was breaking away from Zoom. Yeah, it seems like he did it in person. The value is so much greater because the person inviting, the person leading, the person that's the guest are all getting value out of it, regardless of whether the person that's a guest is like saying no at the moment. It's like so valuable for that person to live with their no, for the person that invited to live with that person's no, and to be with them and to not force or pressure.
I'm glad I did it. Like I say, there's already been some positive influences in my life, and there's already been some things that I've taken away, and I thought I actually really like that.
And this guy just
But
did
there
it
is
too,
that
5 years
slightly
later.
darker side just to be mindful of. But I was actually talking about it with my friend
There's no
yesterday.
darker side. You're completely taking, we show you that that is darker side. That is a story that you made up. Same with it being good. I'm not saying it's good or this is the truth or you should believe me or you should feel welcome and okay with it. Like none of that stuff. That's not even you thinking anyway. It's it thinking, you have the thoughts. It's it feeling, you have the feelings. It's it believing, you have the beliefs.
The day before, sorry, when we were coming back from the third day. And I said about how I feel the cultishness and the sales stuff kind of devalues the program. And he made the point, and he's perfectly right to say, if you're a grown adult and you can make your decision and you can ignore that, it's not really that detrimental and it's not really that damaging to do that. You just have to assume that people are grown adults and capable of, I suppose, capable of making decisions for themselves as to whether they want to do the program or not. So I'll leave it there. More than happy to answer any questions that anybody's got on the program. But
Yeah, just look up the definition of a cult. It has to do with charismatic leader, and then people are like, "Oh, well, it doesn't have to be a charismatic leader." There's many things that have happened in the world that aren't involved in charismatic leaders, and they are cults. Like I don't really see that. I see any cultish type things or being under long-term contracts. Um, I can't remember where I was going with this, but yeah, like those are cults. Long-term contracts take you away from the people in your life. Charismatic leader, and none of that is there's no one charismatic leader. It's owned by the employees. There is no long-term contracts. You agree to the term you agree to. I believe the longest term thing is a year, unless you want to literally lead in front of 250 people 7 to 20 times a year. Could you imagine leading a conversation in front of 250 people and you make a difference in those 250 people's lives like 20 times a year? What is that? Like hundreds, thousands of people that you're making a difference for. Like, of course, that is going to take longer than a year commitment to achieve that type of level. So people have been there for 26 years and they're like, oh, I didn't get what I wanted. It's like, um, yeah, take a step back and really look at it. All the hours and the money that I spent, I was paying for training. I'm insanely well trained. And then, not to compare, when I talk to friends that don't have it, they're either talking about the same thing they were talking about 10 years ago or whichever, but are not happy. They could put on the smiling face and ask me all the questions, but when y'all are calling me and starting arguments with me, I can tell that you're not happy. That you don't like what I have to say back. It's like I didn't ask you whether you liked it or didn't like it or whether it made you feel good or not. This isn't meant to be entertaining. This isn't meant to be a pleasant conversation. This is meant to literally break open like an empowerment. If someone asks the questions, which gives you the insight, which empowers you to find an answer for yourself, then that is not force. And that is not power in the sense that people generally might think of it as power. I told a friend, "Oh, well, you want to be powerful in that deregulation plan, don't you?" And he said, "Well, I don't want to be powerful." It's like, my fault. That's not what I meant by it. Powerful generally people see dictatorial control. They'll do anything for power hungry, all these things, and that's more accurately what that stuff is force. Power is empowerment, where you are empowered to go do what be and act how you want. In any event, hope you have a phenomenal day. Bye bye, peace out.